Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? Blue skies and little fluffy clouds. Now, why am I showing you a video of blue skies and little fluffy clouds? Because we haven't seen it in weeks. That's why. We have had a humongous amount of rain over the last month. It has been chucking down, literally monsoonal. And you know, most of us feel like we've got webbed feet and we've started quacking. There's been so much rain. But that's why I really haven't updated anything on my page, because well, you can't get out when it's chucking down, and as you can see, everything's under tarps, as they always are. But anyway, what's been happening? Well, I spent money I didn't have on acquiring some more goodies for the Marmon Herrington. I probably didn't need them, actually. There's a few odds and ends, but anyway, a guy I know put me onto another guy who had what was left of what's called a 01T. So it's a 1940 Ford Marmon Herrington. And I really didn't need it, but I thought, what the hell, I'll buy it, and I did. And this is what's left of it. There's also like the front quarter of the chassis, which is down the end of the drive, and I might do a separate video on that. But this is a collection of some of the parts that I managed to pull off here. There you go, there's the wings, lots of dents, lots of holes, lots of rust. This is a radiator shroud. Not as many holes or rust, but it's a little bit out of shape. It's taken a bit of a bang down there, in the bottom corner. And then a few other little bits and pieces. You've got these little, I guess you call them headlight frames. And if you have a look closely, oh, still got the old original army green paint on it in places. But sadly, of course, because I washed it, it's starting to peel, but there's not much you can do with that. But isn't that beautiful? Look at it. Shiny. It's very, very nice. And you pull these off, the headlights, with these little springs here. You pull down on that funny little metal thing, and it just sort of pops off. So I've got two of those. Not sure what I'm going to do with those. And then these things here, this thing here, is what's left of the handbrake. Now you'll probably notice that, you know, about 90% of it is gone. And the same goes with this. I think that is for the transfer case, so high and low range. I'm not 100% sure, but once again, you know, a huge chunk of it is missing. And then you've got the rods here, connecting rods, which of course connect to the brake itself. Brake shoes, brake pads, whatever you want to call them. They've both been cut off. Now, a little bit of a story on what happened to this truck. The old fella that I bought it from, who lives down in Broken Hill, had his eye on what was then a relatively complete truck. And I approached the landowner and said, look, I'm really interested, I'd like to buy it. You know, would you accept this? And he got a lot of ums and ahs, and the landowner said, no, I don't really know. You know, I might do something with it myself. You know, the usual sort of bullshit that they come up with. And that went on for a couple of years, I believe. And then some other guy, some hot rodder, approached the same old fellow and obviously offered him a lot more money, and or proportionately more money, and the guy accepted. And sadly, this hot rodder decided that he didn't actually want the complete vehicle itself. He just wanted parts of it, which is fair enough. You know, sometimes people want to scavenge things off other vehicles. I've done it plenty of times. But what I don't do, and what he did, was take a gas axe to the vehicle. And it was, as I said, relatively complete. And he cut bits off it, cut a third off the back of the chassis, took the diffs, front and rear diffs, took prop shafts, took wheels, and took the cab, removed the cab from it. So basically all I was left with was the front 2/3 with an engine block in a gearbox, and he cut his way through pretty much everything. Cut through handles, cut through pedals. There's the radiator grille, which is a bit battered, but is, you know, it's restorable. So I'm going to keep that and panel beat it and try and return it to its original shape. Now look at that. Okay, you can see it's taken a bloody great big knock. So anyway, back to the guy who decided he was going to take a gas axe to, I'll just show you these bits and pieces. There you go. There's a couple of panels, top panels that go underneath the hood, and that is what's left of the steering box. And you can see that part of the steering column's been cut off. You can actually see like a little cut there from this guy who cut everything within an inch of its life. Couldn't unbolt it and had to cut it off. So anyway, he left the carcass and took what he wanted. This fella that I bought it from collected what was left. I don't know what he planned on doing with it, but he kept it anyway. And then, you know, fast forward 15, 20 years and I bought it. So here it is. Here's all the stuff. Some of it I'm going to try to sell, but obviously trying to sell anything before Christmas is not smart because everybody's decided to buy presents for kids and rallies and all the rest of it. So I'm stuck with it for now. But anyway, there you go. Some interesting bits and pieces. There's some rusty crap. Those are, you know, bits and pieces off the engine. The pipes that go into the radiator. I'll show you the radiator in a minute. And there you go, is another part of the steering column. And in order for this monkey to remove the cab from the rest of the vehicle, you can see he's just sliced through the steering column. I think that's the ignition switch, and that's where the key would go in for the ignition. So he cut that in half as well, prick. Here, just wander around. I'll take you to the radiator in a minute. And here's some more bits and pieces. That there is a fuel tank, rectangular thing, and it would sit right underneath the driver's bum in the cab, which is a bit scary really when you stop to think about it. I'm not altogether sure how many gallons it takes, 15, 20 gallons. But that is an original 1940-41 Ford pickup truck fuel tank. There's some inner sills, which I've been trying to sell, but once again, like I said, nobody's interested in them. And this here is the 1940 hood or bonnet, depending on which part of the world you come from. And you can tell it's a 1940 hood because of this stuff here. See all of this beautiful writing here, Ford. These are called hood ornaments. Basically, it's just fancy stuff that they put on the hood to make it look glamorous. And I think they are very glamorous. This was in pretty good nick until the peanut of a driver that picked it up from Broken Hill forgot to secure it to the truck, because that's what all truck drivers do apparently. And it's got, you see that huge dent there? I've pushed that out, but that was all smashed in. And if you look here at the hood ornament, he's scratched the hell out of the top of it here. And I've just tried to sort of sand that back to see how bad it is, but it's fairly extensive. Yeah, he did a really good job. He did a good number on it. So that's that. And then the last thing for this particular episode is the radiator, which before this half-wit of a hot rod had decided to trash everything on that truck apart from the things that he kept. This would have been in, I think, in pretty good condition, but you can see what he has done to the radiator. He's crushed it. And if you look here, you see that bloody great big dent on the top. You can see there's the filler cap, and then these are the inlet outlet pipes and stuff to feed the engine, keep the engine cool. Now, if you look at that bloody great big dent, and you match that up with the radiator grill, you can see that this dipshit has obviously put a forklift or something through it, maybe when it was on its side, and made an absolute dog's dinner. There you go, see how there's that huge curve, that bow in the top of the radiator grill. So yeah, some successes, but a lot of failures and a lot of stuff which I think is probably going to end up going into the knacker's yard. There you go, guys, that's it. That's my update for 2024, and I would imagine I probably won't be doing much else before the end of the year. So yeah, I'm going to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, whatever you guys choose to celebrate over December. Have a lovely holiday, stay safe, and I'll see you in 2025. Well, might see you sooner, I don't know. Depends whether I've got a lot of spare time on my hands. Anyway, guys, take care. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, blah, 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 yada, 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 and take care.